This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Hi, I'm Helene Woods, and this is Let's Quilt, episode number 23. Today we're going to start cutting the binding for our friendship star, and this will be this binding here. But before we start actually cutting, I'd like to show you another way to straighten your edges, which we have to do. So I'll take this over here. Now we straighten fabric just like we normally do, and then I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to bring the fold right up to the selvage, make that nice and straight. Now this is the edge here that I'm going to be straightening, and if you can see, it's kind of frayed on the edge from having been washed. I'm going to lay it on here. I'm going to get my line pretty well lined up. Then I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to cut off about 1/2 inch. That's nice and flat and straight, just like we normally do. Cut that off. Now that makes a nice edge. What you can do is, rather than taking this ruler over, we can just turn this around this way. So now here's our perfect edge that we had here and here. Now I'm going to cut in 2 inches for my binding, for my block. So I'm going to take that there. Hold it right, nice and tight. Cut-offs. We're going to start cutting the strips for our block, and I'm going to start with the tan. Now if you look in our instructions, I'm going to have you subcut this many times, but let's start off and we're going to cut 1 2-inch strip. I'm going to straighten my edge first. We go 2 inches on this one. There. All right, now we're going to do the green, and each time you go to cut a piece, straighten your edge so you always have a nice straight edge on both sides. And just 1/4 inch, whatever it takes. Line it up here at the bottom and then cut it. Okay, there's the green. Okay, we'll go ahead and we're going to cut the blue. There again, I straighten my fabric and then I measure over 2 inches. Now I'm going to cut a 2-inch strip of the yellow. Now we're going to take our tan and we're going to subcut these into 2-inch squares. I'm going to cut 4 first. And I'm going to label these A1. This will be the first ones that we will be using. So take my little dot, put it on here, and I'm going to put A1 on that. Now I'm going to cut 4 more, and we're going to label those A2. Okay, now we're going to cut the green, and there again, as we always make a nice straight cut at the very beginning, and we'll cut 4 of these. I'm going to label the green A3. All right, now we're going to cut the yellow, and I'm going to have to cut this selvage off, so I'm going to do that. Now the yellow is going to be 3.5 inches long, so I'm going to cover 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put that on my half mark. Cut it. And then I'm going to use that same half mark and just measure over 3 more squares and cut it. And this will be labeled A4. Okay, now we're going to cut the blue. I'm going to have to cut my selvage off here. And we're going to cut 4 of them also in 2-inch squares. And we're going to label these A5. Well, we have all our blocks now ready for our friendship star to be put together. We've got the tan, 4 of the A1, 4 of the A2, 4 of the green and the A3. We have our rectangles in the yellow, A4, 4 in the A5, and then our binding in the yellow. Next time we're going to start laying out our block and stitching our friendship star. Until next time.